But even more indicative than what the speaker says is the way that he or she says it. يعني ماشي داكشي اللي تقول بالضبط ولكن كي تتكلم. The English grammar and vocabulary used in public speaking, radio and television news broadcasts, books and newspapers is known as standard British English. هذيك اللونجلي اللي تستعمل في هادشي newspaper books etc كتسمى standard British English. Most working class الطبقة العاملة however use lots of words and grammatical forms in their everyday speech which are regarded as non-standard. يعني هاد الطبقة العاملة كتستعمل واحد types تاع phrases ولا تاع grammatical forms اللي تعتبروا non-standard. إلا دواو الناس اللي هما تيهضروا بهاد standard British English تعرفوا هادوك راهم non-standard و تعرفوهم تنتميو لل working class people. Nevertheless, nearly everybody in the country is capable of using standard English when the situation demands it. They are taught to do so at school. يعني معلمينهم كل بلاصة وكيتكلم فيها. Therefore, the clearest indication of a person's class is often his or her accent. يعني باللي متجاوزة هاد المسألة تاع تدويب نون ستاندرد أو بستاندرد إنجليش كلشي يقدر يتعلم ستاندرد إنجليش. كاين واحد الطريقة أخرى اللي تتخلي الفرق هو الأكسنت الطريقة ديالك باش تهضر هذيك the accent the way of speaking which most people do not change to suit the situation. يعني تقدر إلا كانت شي حاجة رسمية تستعمل فيها ستاندرد إنجليش ولكن الأكسنت ديالك راه معروفة منين نتا بحال الشكل تاع الدايركت ماشي هي الدايركت يسمى بحالها يعني كدوي تنعرفوا هاد الطريقة باش تيدوي اللكنة ديالو غنعرفوه هذا منين. The most prestigious accent in Britain is known by linguists as received pronunciation RP. It is the combination of standard English spoken with an RP accent that is usually meant when people talk about BBC English or the Queen's English. RP is not associated with any particular part of the country. Okay? حيت تكون كانت associated مثلا مع الويلز ولا سكوتلاند راه غادي نعرفوا كل وحده من الاكسنت ديالها يعني it's not associated with any part. The vast majority of people, however, speak with an accent which is geographically limited. يعني أغلب الناس تيهضروا بواحد الأكسنت اللي محدودة في ذاك المكان ديالها. مثلا Scottish people تيهضروا بواحد الأكسنت اللي إلا سمعها مثلا شي واحد من ويلز ولا من ليفربول غيعرف هادو راه Scottish. In England and Wales, anyone who speaks with a strong regional accent is automatically assumed to be working class. شوف دابا هنا in England and Wales أي واحد بواحد strong regional accent automatically تيقولوا هذا راه من working class. Conversely, anyone with a pure RP اللي هي received pronunciation accent is assumed to be upper or upper middle class. During the last quarter of the 20th century, the way that people identify themselves with regard to class changed. يعني في هذاك last quarter of the 20th century بدأت يتبدل هادشي. In Britain, as in many other places, a certain amount of social climbing goes on. That is, اش المقصود بهذا social climbing? People try to appear as if they belong to as high a class as possible. يعني الناس وخاهم من working class تيحاولوا ما امكن انهم يستعملوا مثلا دوك الفريزز او لا دوك ستاندرد انجلش اللي كتعبر على واحد الهاي او الابر كلاس. These days, however, the opposite is more common. يعني حاليا في هذه الايام الحاليه العكس اللي ولا اكثر غالب. By conventional criterion of occupation, there are more middle-class adults in Britain today than working-class ones. Middle-class هما اللي غالبين. And yet, surveys consistently show that more people describe themselves as working class. يعني دوك الإحصائيات اللي تيديروا مع الناس أغلبية الناس تيوصفوا روسهم as working class طبقة عاملة. This is one manifestation of a well-known phenomenon known as inverted snobbery. وهذا هو تعبر على واحد الظاهرة خرجة جديدة سميتها invented snobbery whereby middle class people try to adopt working class values and habits. والميدل كلاس بيبل تيحاول ما يمكن انهم يتمسكوا بشي حوايج بدوك القيم ودوك الهابس اللي كاينين عند الوركينج كلاس. They do this in the belief that the working classes are in some way better وتيديروه تيتشبهوا بهم بعاداتهم بقيمهم وعاداتهم على انهم احسن منهم in some way بحالاش better for example more honest تيكونوا صريحين بزاف في تعاملهم. In general, the different classes mix more readily and easily with each other than they used to. يعني دابا بداو تيتخالطوا أكثر مع بعضياتهم. There has been a great increase in the number of people from working class origins who are homeowners and who do traditionally middle class jobs. واضحة؟ The lower and middle classes have drawn closer to each other in their attitudes, and the relation between wealth and perceived social class seems to be even looser than it used to be. One survey in 2006 concluded that more than 3 million of the wealthiest, yani 20% of people in the country, regard themselves as working class, while almost 2 million of the poorest, اللي هما 20%, regard themselves as middle class. And I stop here.